Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of my ride from Nairobi to Lodwar. If you are following, this was part of the footage that I showed you as I was getting into Kichale after cycling from Nairobi from midnight. So I was getting to Kichale at around 6 p.m. I'd done like 370 kilometers and I decided that wasn't enough. I had targeted to do 400 kilometers, so I actually got here to the junction to Lodwar and I decided I was going to add another 40 kilometers to Makutano. So Makutano is the beginning of West Pokot County. That's where I slept, and I was waking up at around 4:30 a.m. so that I could start at 5 a.m. and do some tough climbs before starting to drop, enjoying some scenery as I explored West Pokot County and a bit of some flattish before starting to get into Turkana. But most of Pokot County, West Pokot, has just been climbing and dropping. And that was how I had to start my day 2 of my ride. It was not fun climbing very tough climbs during the night and dropping also, all still in the darkness. But at this point now I'm starting to enjoy some decent drops. I was going to still ride for some time now before I go to a place I can take breakfast. This was Sunday morning, and as I had planned, I was going to ride for 100 kilometers. Before now, I can start to talk about breakfast. So before I could get to a place where I could take breakfast, it was just some drops and flats. But the first like 50 kilometers, it was basically up, then down, then down, just like this place here, approaching Serbit. When it is already daybreak like now, the worst I normally do is drop, not using any brakes, a bit of pedaling, and then I let gravity take its course. Yes, why not enjoy the drops with less traffic here? Why not? See how West Pokot County is very beautiful. That is Serbit, and here there is a cement factory. I think some trucks that had met the previous night were just coming from this place. this year I can't see people because behind there I wasn't seeing anyone. It was just me, myself, and I think this is a water treatment plant, if I'm not wrong. It's carrying some water from the factory across. So most bridges here, they are like this, as you're going to see, except for a few ones that the Chinese contractor has renovated. But most bridges here, they are normally like this, so that when it is flooding, water just crosses through the road. That's how they built the bridges here. And that explains to you why when the rivers are full, you have to wait for them to finish crossing the road so that you can also cross. So by this time, I was getting to a place where it's flattish, but clouds were gathering, and rain wasn't far from here, but I didn't have time to waste waiting for anything. Of course, I got some rain into Kainuk. Kainuk is now the beginning of Turkana County. Took some breakfast here, some chapati and eggs and a number of cups of tea. Each had some tangawizi. Tangawizi is normally nice when it is put in tea. And you take it, it helps to open the lungs and feels like medicine. So Kainuk, for those who don't know, Kainuk is a place with curfew from 6 to 6, and as long as you are passing here through the day, it's totally fine. But you can't pass here before 6 or after 6. Before 6 a.m. or after. You can't pass here before 6 a.m. or after 6 p.m. because this place it's been a place of bullets. The place where watu wanakulanga risasi from bandits. But I wasn't shaken. I was alone. So when I'm alone, I don't see how I can become a threat to bandits. In fact, I never saw the bandits. Maybe I'm a bandit myself. Yes, but I didn't see any bandits. I only saw some administration police manning some checkpoints. Then from Kainuk, I was riding in the rain for like another 20 to 30 kilometers or so till I got to Kalemngorok 50 kilometers later, and it was now dry here. The rain has now stopped, and refreshed, took some water and refilled my water bottles, because now from Kalemngorok up to Lodwar was still another 120 kilometers, which will be mostly flattish. We'll be doing a gradient of mostly, it will be around between negatives and 0 and even 0.5 gradient. So after my stop, proceeded, and this was the place where I was now going to find the first flooded river I assessed the water and I saw the water wasn't so much deep and I could pass. So these kids here started to cheer at me. Though some were becoming mischievous, but I said I will just pass. They had never seen somebody like me. So they were really excited, some of them telling me to stop, some of them scaring me. But I proceeded. Yes, I looked at the water and I didn't see if the water was an issue. The water was very little and it wasn't moving that fast. They're being mischievous and I decided I was also becoming mischievous too. Then this one came to cycle with me on his bike. I remember having such a bike when I was a kid. It was the family bike. That is the real black mamba. I rode a bit with him and other kids. Now I was holding the brakes. But if he wanted to race with me, he would have actually left his legs out. Even asked him to pedal with his might, but I still think Turkana kids, they're not built for speed, especially on a bike. And then I left him and I proceeded on. And from here it is just working with the TT mode. It was most of the place it was flattish. So this is the place where if you still have some gas, you resume a TT position and you work with a pace of probably 35 even to 45 kph. You can work with it. The sun is not an issue as long as you are working with that tempo, and because it has been raining, it wasn't that hot. But again, anywhere where it's hot, you just need to work with that tempo. That's what I was doing here. And then finally got to Lokichar, another beautiful place in the middle of this desert-like place. Most of these towns, they are actually designed like the same way Kainuk was designed. Then there is this Lokichar and another town in front there, just like Lodwar. They're actually designed in a very beautiful way when you are entering into them. And also, just when you're passing through them, they are properly built. Just feels sort of like an airport or an international place when you're coming in, and even when you're leaving. I really enjoyed cruising through them. By this time now, I was remaining with if I'm not wrong, 45, I think 45 Lodwar. It's a bit of some climbs, a bit, but the road was through a flattish area. I talked with Jackie. I was talking with Jackie on WhatsApp, and she promised she was connecting me to cyclists from Lodwar. and I said I want people who can keep up with my pace. I don't want jokers. I didn't want to be slowed down. So some places here the names are very mouth, like that one is a Lochwaangmatak. Hey, some hard names, very long. There's even a place called Karoge. I even created a meme. Itabidi ukaroge. Ikikata inabidi ukaroge. Yeah, this time now, this is approaching Lodwar, and I was going to, I was just wondering, like, I'm not getting there. Then I met these kids selling milk by the roadside, and I decided to be mischievous with them a bit.
Yani?
And their Kiswahili is not very good. Saying they're selling 100, and this one they're selling 200 shillings.
Hakuna ya ngamia?
Ngamia.
Yeah, there's the small one they're saying is 100 shillings. This one is 200 shillings. So I pretended I was going to buy, but I wasn't going to buy. Where would I be carrying that milk to?
Pole, pesa iko kwa simu. Pole. Pesa nilikuwa na pesa nyingine hapa nimenunua kitu kwa nyumba. Acha nifike Lodwar.
Yeah. At least these ones, they were not so mischievous like the others. After leaving the kids, I proceeded on to Loturarei. Yes, the last center just before Lodwar, approximately like 12 kilometers. And that is when I met the team from Lodwar. Amazing team, they were so friendly. I'm already missing them. They really came with a lot of energy that matched up with my pace. I told Jackie, I don't want jokers to come pick me. People like Ricky here pushing a single speed. And then there is also the other, there is also Katana, who is also pushing an MTB like you think it's a road bike. My friend, this guy, they were so amazing. They came out finish. That is Katana, they call him Doki or Doctor, pushing an MTB effortlessly, and it is on Jembe, mwanaume ni Jembe. That was the thing that you were just saying there. This guy, pure vibes.
Jembe ya kulima. Mwanaume ni Jembe.
Mwanaume ni Jembe like usual. And then we caught up with Peter and Jemo. They had a puncture up ahead, but after we fixed the puncture, we had to finya these bikes. I mean, we had to put on 30 kph, less than 30. It was probably 28, 27 there. And you see, getting into Lodwar is more of a flattish, like a drop. I even got into the leaderboard. Yes, my friend, getting to Lodwar is pure vibes. Feels like you are not doing something. You're just gliding. Let me use the word gliding. And you see, no one is crying here. We already left the climbs in West Pokot. Very selfless individuals. You can see they are just laughing. There is nothing they can do. You can't be riding a bike and you are putting on a long face. You can't. Yeah, you can't afford to be crying on the bike and looking miserable. You just be smiling and smiling. So guys, this is how 28 kph feels like. Then we got to Turkana University, took some photos, and then by the Lodwar signpost before proceeding into town. They took me to a place where I will now be eating, and actually they bought me supper. They wanted to buy me fish, but there wasn't fish the place, so they bought me chicken. Then while I was eating, two other cyclists joined me on the table. That was Joseph, an old-time friend I'd forgotten about, and then Daniel also joined us. And they so spiced up my little dinner with some soft drinks. Thanks, guys. Yes, and then another one bought me ticket from Lodwar to Kitale. The other one paid for my accommodation. That's how good the Lodwar cyclists were. So two of them had actually dropped to go do something, but they will join me. So here I was with Peter, with the other guy, and they cycled with me into town. And I didn't know I was already in the leaderboard. Found myself in number 7. So I need to revisit this place and see how I can perform on the KM into Lodwar. This is River Turkwel. It's a place that I've always been reading about in geography. For those of us who did geography, but for you guys who did social studies, still the same place I've wanted to come. Thanks for joining me. I hope you subscribed, and I hope you also gave me kudos in my Strava activity. Followed me, subscribe to my content, and to more expedition like this ones. Thank you. Bye bye.